Hi guys and welcome back. It's time to go through the best winter fragrances for this year. If you know me, you know that this is my favorite part of the year. I mean, I love spring, I love summer, I love the sun and the warmth and the fresh and fruity notes that come with the fragrances that you wear in the spring and in the summer. But there is nothing better than the warm and cozy notes that you get to wear when it's winter time. If you live in a cold country, you know that there is nothing more satisfying than just spraying on a warm fragrance. So for this video, I have tried to find fragrances that are not only deep, dark and rich. I wanted to mix it up with something maybe a bit powdery, maybe a bit softer, lighter, but still something good to wear for the winter. So the focus is going to be on those warm, cozy and rich scents that you just smell so good in when it's cold outside. And if you are still one of those thinking, do I need to have many fragrances in my collection, or can I just have one and wear that all year round? Yes, of course you can. You can wear the same fragrance any season as long as it makes you feel good. But I really think you should take the opportunity to smell different depending on the season. And for me, even shifting fragrances from day to day during the whole week makes a difference for me. It depends on what you wear, what you are doing, and the vibe that you want to give off. So please, don't have just one fragrance in your collection. It's a waste of good fragrances out there. So make sure that you try different fragrances out and at least that you have one for each season. So now we are going to talk about the best winter fragrances. So you should have at least one of these in your collection. So we are going to start out with something that is fresh and aromatic with a touch of almonds. And when I say almonds and I say Guerlain, you know that I have something in the L'Homme Ideal collection in my hand. This time I have chosen Platine Privé because it's a bit different than the others and it's a really mass appealing and easy to love kind of fragrance. So this one of course has many similarities with the other L'Homme Ideal fragrances, but I think it has its own vibe. In the top there is fresh grapefruit, then of course the almonds together with neroli in the midst, and in the base you have musk and you have vetiver. This one has a lot of similarities with the L'Homme Ideal fragrances, but I think it has its own vibe. And to me, it comes off as, even though there is no woody notes in the notes, I think it comes off as a bit more woody. And I don't know, maybe it's the vetiver who does it. This one works as an everyday scent as well as going to a date. And speaking of performance, it stays on for quite some time. I would say it's pretty similar to the other L'Homme Ideal fragrances, which means it's average or just above average. The next one I want to show you is one fragrance that I actually did a comparison of together with Rotten Rebel on his channel. We went through the whole Givenchy Gentleman line. And I think that I actually placed this one on spot number 5 because there were 5 fragrances that we were comparing. And I think I said that, well, I love all of these 5, but this one is maybe the one I love a bit less than the others. However, a couple of months later or even a year later, I smelled this again. And I smelled it on someone when we were outside and even inside, and I was like, wow, what is that? So this is obviously something that makes me happy. So if you saw what was standing here for just a couple of seconds ago, you know that what I have in my hand is Givenchy Gentleman, the EDT Intense. This has something that really gets to me. It's a wonderful fragrance. If you know these fragrances, you know that they are woody, they are warm, they are powdery, spicy, and they are just absolutely beautiful. Why I think I love this so much is because this has this amazing combo of the woodiness, the powderiness, warmth and some sweetness. In the top there is a wonderful note of cardamom, then of course the powdery iris in the midst, and in the base there is coumarin, which gives it this beautiful sweet and vanillic vibe. Expect this to stay on your skin for long. This is a long-lasting kind of scent, and from my experience it also projects pretty good even when you are outside. Wear it to any occasion, but definitely wear it when you are dressed up and maybe going to a date or just for romantic occasions. This year Armani released yet another code fragrance, and it's the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Parfum is just as good as the other ones. I really love the Armani code fragrances. They are so extremely elegant, they are so warm and so soft and inviting, and it's really a great collection of fragrances. I like this one so much because it has warm sweetness and something spicy over it. And the sweetness that comes from tonka bean and nutmeg is just wonderful, and it makes it perfect for romantic occasions. If you're a guy who are not that comfortable with wearing sweet fragrances, fragrances, this may be too much for you. And if you don't like powdery, this is definitely not something that you should wear. This may sound strange, but this actually smells like a really expensive soap because it has a touch of soapiness. It smells like something powdery and something sweet. The performance is long lasting and the projection is actually quite strong. So this is definitely something you don't have to overspray when wearing it, but if you want to smell a lot, of course you could. The next one is really one of the fragrances that absolutely makes me love winter. This is the kind of scent that makes me happy. It stands out, it's extremely unique, it's so easy to like, and this is also that kind of scent that hypnotizes people. When they get a whiff of this, they just have to know what it is, and they think it smells unique and it's something that they have not experienced before. The one I love and the one that makes me love wintertime is Fan Your Flames from Nishan. And the notes in this one are crazy. They are unique and the combo is perfect. There is rum, there is coconut and tobacco, and there is also something, I don't know what, but there's also something in it that gives it this minty vibe. So you get something that is warm, sweet, that is cozy and yet fresh. This is extremely unique, and I would say don't expect love at first sniff because it was not that for me. But when I smelled it a couple of times more, I absolutely fell in love with it. So this is Nishan, and it burns a hole in your wallet if you buy it, but it's worth the money if you want to invest in a really great fragrance. And since it's quite expensive, I am happy to tell you that the performance that you pay for is worth the money. This stays on for long and it projects really good. So not everyone can or want to invest in a really expensive fragrance. So I also wanted to include a classic cheapie that really still works and that smells really great. And that one is Bentle for Men Intense. This is a really great fragrance and it costs almost nothing compared to fragrances like Nishan or the ones from Parfums de Marly or Initio. Of course, you don't get a scent that is quite as complex as those ones, but it doesn't mean that you still can't smell amazing. This is woody, warm and spicy, and the wonderful thing about it is the combination of the note of rum together with cinnamon. And this one performs amazing. Not just good for being a cheapie, it performs amazing even compared to more expensive ones. This actually works with any kind of outfit. You can wear it dressed up in a suit or just with a leather jacket looking cool. And no matter the occasion, this will make you smell fantastic. Next up is a fragrance that actually had to grow on me. This was not love at first sniff. It's a fragrance in the Most Wanted collection. That is a collection I absolutely love. I mean, the sweetness, the bubblegummy vibe, and the wonderful seductive scents in that collection is crazy. And I think that's maybe why this was not love at first sniff for me. I had to get to know the scent better before I decided that I actually love it, because this brings something different to the table. And I think that first, when I smelled it, I was a bit put off because I couldn't find the Most Wanted sweetness that I love so much. This is not as sweet as the others, but still it's a great fragrance and it's definitely a perfect winter fragrance. If you want to understand how this one smells, think of the Most Wanted, but then you take away some of the sweetness, you add something a bit like moss and you add something earthy to it. And earthy notes together with a bit of sweetness can really make a fantastic scent, and that's why I like this so much. Expect the performance to be quite good, and since this is not as sweet as the Most Wanted fragrances, it makes a perfect scent to wear to work or whenever you just want to smell good. I think some of you may experience this one as maybe a more masculine than the Most Wanted fragrances, and again it comes down to the sweetness. This is not as sweet as the others and it has a different vibe with that earthiness. The next one is from Prada and it's the Prada Luna Rossa Ocean, and this is the Eau de Parfum. This is the latest release of the Ocean fragrances, and wait for the dry down with this one because this gets so much better when it dries down. It's a beautiful scent all right from the start, but it may not stand out that much until you have the dry down, because when you have the dry down of this one, it just smells incredible. There is beautiful citrusy and slightly sweet grapefruit in the top. Then you have some frankincense in the middle, and in the base you have vanilla and something very musky and warm. This is not a scent that projects like crazy, but when this dries down on your skin and you smell it, I actually have it here on my arm right now, When you smell it, you just get the most inviting, soft and invigorating scent. So while this is a fragrance that you can wear to any occasion like work or just whenever, I think this is something that you should really use if you are maybe going on a date or just for a romantic occasion where the chance is good that someone is going to want to come closer to you. The next fragrance is from Valentino, and you know I love the fragrances in the Valentino collection. I think that the Born in Roma fragrances are amazing, but I actually think that Valentino before Born in Roma was the best. But still, it's a great line of fragrances. And the latest one is Valentino Born in Roma, the Gold Uomo. This is one of my favorites in the Born in Roma collection, and I think it's a bit like Back to the Roots. When I smell this one, it's something very familiar. It smells like something I have smelled before. I can't really say what, but it does remind me of something very early in the Valentino collection. And there is something about those scents, you know, scents that just feels familiar. Probably somewhere, sometime in your life, you have smelled something that reminds you of the scent. That was probably on an occasion where you felt good, and that's why you really like those familiar scents. So when you get a fragrance like this that reminds you of some scent that has made you felt good before, it's something that you just instantly like. And that's how I feel with the Gold. This is something I have smelled before. This is something I have smelled when I was feeling good. This is something that made me feel good, and that's why I really love this one. Even though it's not a very unique scent, it's not very experimental or just very different from anything else, but it's familiar, and there can be real beauty in the familiar. So there is woody notes, spicy notes and vanilla in here. There is amber, and there is in the top solar notes. The solar notes goes away quite quickly, so they're mostly there in the opening, and they are there when you smell the bottle like this. But I really wish that they had amped up the side of the solar notes, because those are always amazing. This has the performance of a Valentino Uomo fragrance, and those fragrances usually are just a bit above average, but that is good enough because it makes you smell good throughout the day and it makes people notice your scent. And I think we have to include a real classic in this list. I love the YSL La Nuit de l'Homme, the original. And the original is so beautiful and it works every time. For any occasion, if you are going to a date, if you are going to work or to the gym, just spray this one on in the winter time and you will smell amazing. This is warm, it's woody, it's spicy with the most beautiful note of cardamom. It smells familiar because this is a classic. You have smelled it 1,000 times before. But even so, it's not outdated and it's still an amazing scent. And looking at reviews, this will not stand out as an extremely strong or powerful scent. But I can promise you that any woman who has been to a date with a guy wearing this can testify that this is something that you do pick up and you don't have to come close to actually smell this one. If you are on a date, no matter if you are in a restaurant, having dinner, going to the cinema. Does anyone go to the cinema nowadays? I don't. But no matter what you're doing during this date, it will smell good. It will fill up the room and it will make her notice you. Maybe not the scent to wear if you want to smell extremely unique for a date, but if you want to go with something safe that you know that she will like because everyone likes this, go with this one. It's such an easy reach and it will make you smell good for any occasion. The next one is a fragrance from Initio, and this one is very masculine. It's extremely masculine, it smells fantastic, but you know the amazing thing with this one is that if a woman wear it, like me, I get so many compliments. So when a woman wears it, it turns into something feminine, but when a man wears it, it's just straight down masculine. And this is Rehab from Initio, and for some of you this is known as the expensive spice bomb. This is the most beautiful combo of notes that makes it woody, musky, powdery, actually also a bit sweet, warm, and it's a combination of so many beautiful things that ends up in this soft, spicy and woody scent that is just so masculine and so flirtatious. And the performance on this one is really good. It's an Initio fragrance, so yes, it is expensive, but what you are paying for is quality. And here it comes down to quality in the scent. This has so many layers, it's so nuanced, but it also comes down to quality when it comes to longevity and projection. This stays on for so long and it makes you smell great for the whole day. When I wear this, I usually use like 6 or 8 sprays and it makes me smell good for the whole day. If I'm going to do something after work during the evening, I just reapply 2 or 3 sprays to just make it pop a bit more, but it really stays on for the whole day. Guys, that was it. 10 fragrances that will make you smell amazing in the winter. Do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like, and please comment on this video. What would you like me to do next? Put it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.